Hello Tokusatsu community and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming 46th Super Sentai Series, Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. So a little over a month ago we got our trademark for this series, being the series that's going to follow Zenkaiger when it concludes in probably like late February of 2022, so we should probably start seeing this in like March of 2022. It's, pretty typical Sentai time stuff like that. But the last couple of months we've heard a lot of different rumors and leaks about how this show is going to follow Zenkaiger. But we actually have a lot more confirmed information that kind of gives names to the stuff we had already heard about and more details about some new stuff regarding Donbrothers. And this is seemingly confirmed information from the actual official Bandai Toy Meeting. So this is still a leak. We're not supposed to know this stuff yet. None of it has been officially announced. But of course this all comes from my good friend, The Real Matt Hunt on Twitter, or Dukemon on RangerBoard, who has encompassed all this information together for us, making it easy for us to go over. So I'll be reading basically exactly what he's posted here, so we can discuss this stuff, because it's very interesting, and I'm pretty excited for it. Now typically I would have saved all this information for kind of a part 9 or part 10, whichever part we're on, of my Sentai Gears What We Know So Far information, because we do know that the Sentai Gears, or some version of them, was going to continue for Donbrothers, but there was barely anything to talk about Sentai Gear wise from the month of November, so there will not be a typical part of that series this month. There's a bunch of other videos coming out on the channel this month. But today, we already posted a video earlier today, which was my Lightning Collection Guy review. So I'm going to I'm filming this one a little earlier in the day, but I'm going to release it a little later in the day, so there's just some time for the Guy video to breathe. So taking a look at the original leaks and everything, we knew that there's going to be a new bike mecha coming for Zenkaiger at the very end of the show here. So I think that's supposed to come out probably sometime around, I think it was January or February, something like that. And that bike was going to combine with Juron. And it was kind of believed that the bike was going to also be the henshin device of our new Red Ranger, but that doesn't actually seem to be the case necessarily. The bike thing is still legitimate, it can still combine with Zenkai Juron, but now we kind of have an actual name for it, and some more details on that. So first of all, our upcoming Red Ranger, we actually got to see a silhouette of him in the most recent issue of Telebikun that came out at the very end of November. So if you were not believing any of these leaks or these rumors, well, it should be right there for you. There he is. Well, he's obviously just a silhouette standing next to Zenkaiser, and it fits the rumors pretty accurately so far. Granted, it is just a silhouette, and I'm not here to make an 18-minute video or whatever, examining a silhouette. But it does have that top knot that we talked about that was in the leaks, and it does look like he's going to have that peach leaf visor. Which, speaking of which, we'll go ahead and start reading off of today's leaks from the Toy Meeting. So first of all, our new Red Ranger is going to be called Don Momotaro. So we had already kind of heard the rumor of that being kind of the case. So we have Don Momotaro as our Red Ranger, and his head is going to have a metallic pink, not silver, peach symbol. So that kind of makes sense, we've kind of seen pink associated with peaches and stuff before, so not super surprising there. And so the bike is not the henshin item. Its name is the Enya Ride-On, and it has a bike mode, a Robo Half mode, and when combined with Juron, forms Don Zenkaio. And the Change Hero series of figures can ride on the bike mode, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat that they're going to be incorporating the Change Hero series figures, and since those are virtually the same scale as the Yudo figures, those should also work. I don't see why those would not work, those candy toy sticker figures and stuff for Sentai, so that's really cool. What's really cool about this though is if you're wondering if the bike's not the transformation device, what is the transformation device? Well, you already own it. Or maybe you already own it if you've been collecting Zenkaiger this year, because Don Momotaro actually used the Geertleiner, at least to begin with. So it says here that Don Momotaro actually used the Geertleiner to transform until March. After March, he uses the Dawn Blaster, which has two muzzles that rotate in firing. The Dawn Blaster can read Sentai Gears, Avataro Gears, and Avataro Gear Alters. So technically we have 3 different types of gimmicks going on here. So basically it sounds like if you collected the Sentai Gears, the ones for Zenkaiger, you're probably going to want to pick up the Dawn Blaster, because it does seem like all of those, or at least I'm assuming most of those, are going to be able to work with this, which is really, really cool. One of my biggest complaints about Bandai gimmicks, and this is both Rider and Sentai, is that I never think that they release enough toys that interact with the gimmick. sometimes you get a gimmick that really only works very well in like 1 or 2 toys. And so when we start getting, when we're getting more and more toys that will work with these properly, I think it's really cool. Because, I mean, it does say in this leak, it can read Sentai gears. Not just like it can just, hold them or whatever. So I'm hoping that means that I can actually read the notches and it's not like a gear deleter situation where it can like read the Sentai gears. So the original leaks had sort of reported that new bike mecha was also going to be the transformation device and everything, and that's not the case, and it seems like the reason why that ended up being kind of the leak was that apparently the Dawn Blaster shares design similarities to both the Gear Cleaner and the Enya Ride-On, so that's why people were thinking that they were one and the same, but they are specifically 2 different toys. The bike, which is the Enya Ride-On, and then the Dawn Blaster, which is the actual transformation device here. But the Dawn Blaster is also going to be the transformation device for the rest of the team. So while Don Momotaro is going to use the Gear Leaner, and through the end of Zenkaiger, he'll switch over to the Dawn Blaster, which is interesting. So I'm assuming maybe his Gear Leaner will just turn into a Dawn Blaster or something. But this is pretty cool. I think that seems interesting here. Now, of course, I had said that this Dawn Blaster is going to take Sentai gears, Avataro gears, and Avataro gear alters. What does that mean? Well, we have a little bit of information about the new Avataro gears, which are the ones that are up for pre-order, I'm assuming, on Tokullectibles. They have the first couple Gashapon and Candy Toy sets up for pre-order right now. So the new gears don't seem to have back images to them. If you're familiar with the typical original Sentai gears, they all have the team logo on the back of them. It looks like they are not going to have that this year. We still haven't seen any pictures of any of this, which I probably should have said a while ago. There's no pictures of any of this yet. This is still a leak, but it's confirmed information. Despite possible mistranslations here or there, the general idea of everything I'm talking about today is 100% actually happening. So keep that in mind. There's not a ton of details on the Avataro gears, but the Avataro gear alters is a power-up item. It transforms Don Momotaro into Don Momotaro Alter, a CGI robot. The legendary Avataro gear alters can summon Mecha and allow the team to combine with those Mecha. So there's some examples here. The Tokulectibles gear alter summons the Ichigo Resha. The Juoger gear alter summons an eagle/shark/lion type box. And yeah, I don't know exactly what that means, but it seems like that's seems like their way of using the Sentai gears. So I'm guessing they're not going to maybe use Sentai gears on the ground level fights, and this year they're going to use them more on the mecha battles, which we have kind of basically got confirmation that the mecha battles are going to be CGI this year. If you're familiar with like Zenroku Zenkaiger from Zenkaiger, expect that kind of thing. It kind of seems to be the standard that Sentai is going to use going forward with the mecha battles, and not the typical, 2 guys in a suit fight each other kind of thing. I'm sure they'll have a little bit of physical suits in the show for the mecha battles, but those days are going to kind of be over, it seems like. But then looking at the rest of the team, we have Saru Brother is a gorilla, a physical suit. Oni Sister uses a spiked club weapon. Inu Brother is a 3 heads tall cartoon dog that fights with a shuriken, and it's a CGI character. Kiji Brother looks like Slenderman with wings that grow out, also a CGI character. And that is our team. So I believe our color scheme is red, being Don Momotaro, and then we have black, blue, and then is it pink and yellow, I think? I think it's that color scheme. It's like the Bokenger color scheme, or the Mighty Morphin color scheme, or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was the color scheme. I'll have to check the other leaks and rumors on that one. But yeah, pretty sure that's what that was. And so based off of that, it looks like red, blue, and yellow are going to be actual physical suits, while black and pink are just going to be CGI characters, and I think maybe CGI suits. Kind of interesting. That could definitely make things interesting for like stage shows, or just kind of the show in general if 2 of the main Rangers are not physical suits. It looks like they're going to be relying heavily on CGI for Donbrothers, which I know is something people are not going to like. I think we'll have to just see how they play this. Obviously, Sentai's Kira Major might have been the last normal kind of Sentai. Obviously, Zenkaiger was definitely a different kind of Sentai team, and Donbrothers is already shaping up to be the same way. So these might not even, these are probably not going to even look like typical traditional Ranger suits outside of like possibly just this core trio of them. So I'm very intrigued by that. The Zonglass Sword is Don Momotaro's personal weapon. Using an infrared data communication with the Dawn Blaster, it can perform finishing moves. So that kind of sounds like the Gon Saber from Ghost. It kind of sounds like that, where, if you held that up to the Ghost Driver, It could make a finishing move attack sound. So that's, I'm assuming, kind of the same exact technology that we're going to have with that. And speaking of that, the Sunglass Sword does make me think of the Sunglass Slasher, whatever it was called, from Comrade Ghost Tokon Boost form. It makes me think of that kind of thing. So that's interesting. But we have a couple more leaks here talking about some of the more mecha and stuff like that. So outside of the alters, there doesn't seem to be a new robot until June. The alters resemble Akiba Ranger's Atasha Robo. Don Onitajin seems to be a super gatai of some kind. The alters seem to not be of the deluxe line, but of the Change Hero series line. And it seems that there are no giant robot battles in Donbrothers. Instead, the alters shift the battle into another dimensional space. Interesting. So the mecha battles are definitely seeming to get a change up here with Donbrothers than what we've seen with pretty much any Sentai series since like Battle Fever that's had a giant robo. Obviously Go Ranger and Jacka didn't have giant robos, they just had like big jets. So this is going to be probably like the biggest change in mecha battles we've had in nearly 40 years, so that's pretty incredible. So that's very interesting here. Then we just have a couple more things to wrap it up here with the leaks, and these are that Zenkaiser is on the show until at least June, and he becomes ZenkaiserBlack, well, we don't know what that means just yet, but he will get a new Change Hero series figure to go alongside that. So, I mean, it literally could be as simple as like the white on Zenkaiser is black now. I don't know, but it does sound like Zenkaiser is going to get a new form of some kind in Donbrothers. I would not be surprised if maybe he gets upgraded to a Dawn Blaster as well from his Gear Gleaner or something like that, but it does seem like he's going to get some kind of more power-up form or whatever, kind of probably some kind of evolution, maybe to like Super Zenkaiser or something like that. He'll have another form. That's basically the point here. And then the logo looks like a level 5 video game title. I have no idea what that means. I literally have no idea what that means. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically all of the leaks from the Donbrothers toy meeting. So we do have that we have 2 toys coming out at the end of Zenkaiger that are specifically Zenkaiger branded, but they're for Donbrothers, and that is the new Change Hero series figure for Don Momotaro, and also the Enya Rhydon, which, like I said, is going to be a Zenkaiger item, but it's, you know, because it can combine with Jiron and everything, but it's for Donbrothers as well. And it looks like we have the Dawn Blaster and such like that. Now, I'm not 100% sure, because this doesn't really make it super clear, if the Avataro gears and the Avataro gear alters are 2 separate gimmick items. I think that we just have Avataro gears, and I think that those can lead to the Avataro gear alters, which I think are like the powers that the gears use. It's still kind of all up in the air of what is actually going on, you know, in the like very specifics of this stuff. But it's very interesting stuff here that I'm really getting hyped for Donbrothers. I'm a pretty big fan of Zenkaiger, and I'm really happy to see that is going to kind of continue in some fashion. Especially with Jiron and, you know, Zenkaiser and Kaito or whatever, continuing over. So, yeah, I think this is awesome. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of this. And huge thanks to Matt Hunt for, you know, translating it for us, bringing it over here, compiling it into these easier posts to read. Of course, I will link the RangerBoard thread down below, which is where all the speculation and leaks and stuff are being posted and everything. So you can, you know, stay up to date on all this information. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff here, and I'd love to hear if you guys are going to collect this stuff. Did you collect Zenkaiger and are going to kind of collect Donbrothers to sort of continue your collection on that? That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. I mean, I probably can't afford to go all in on the Avataro gears like I went all in on the Sentai gears, but since the Dawn Blaster looks like it's going to be able to read the Sentai gears, I'll probably get the Dawn Blaster. I've already pre-ordered the first Candy Toy and Gashapon set of Avataro gears, because I figured, you know, why not? I'll probably get the Change Hero figure of Don Momotaro as well, since I got the other Change Hero series figures this year. Might as well, you know, keep that scale up and keep the little display of them up. I think that'd be pretty cool, and I guess I'd get the one for ZenkaiserBlack as well. I completely forgot the name there for a second. But yeah, this is cool. This is really neat, and I can't wait to see all of this stuff. Since we had the silhouette of Don Momotaro at the end of the November Telebikun, we should see at least him, but probably the whole team, probably around Christmas time. That's usually when we start seeing either leaks for this, all of it, like pictures, or the official reveals on Telebikun. I mean, I remember seeing like the official Kira Major reveal pretty much like on Christmas. Zenkaiger's reveal was pretty close to Christmas. It's usually Christmas time in the next issue. Like, so the next issue of Telebikun should be when we see the team, or at least, at the very least, Don Momotaro, since he should be showing up in Zenkaiger next month. to start kicking this whole transition off. So awesome stuff here. I'm excited for Donbrothers. And yeah, that's all I got. So thank you all for watching. Until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LiveNerdJacky or at LightningFigPR. And I'll see you all next time.